best team in the NFC. I still have the Rams ahead of them. A lot will get settled next week because these two teams play in New Orleans.
Sure.
Their defense is better than I thought, especially their front seven. Now, I still think they have some liabilities on the back end. P.J. Williams, Skip, gave up 2 touchdowns, had 2 pass interference calls, but he did get the pick 6. But they were real physical. I thought the turning point of this ball game, it looked like the Vikes were about to go up, Skip, at least, 10 points? And then Thielen fumbled that ball.
Yeah.
They go down and get a touchdown, and the Saints really never look back. They could really never get in rhythm after that. And to think that the New Orleans Saints won a ball game. Green Bay Packers are not winning a game in which Aaron Rodgers throws for 120 yards. That's not going to happen. We know that. And so for them to win a game in which Drew threw for 120, he did have the touchdown. First time that the Saints have won a game in which Drew threw for under 150 since 2006. So that's how such an anomaly, what an anomaly this is. But they're good. Offensively, they can run the ball with Ingram. Now that he's back, Kamara can run the ball better than you think for someone his size. He can run inside. He can run outside. He's unbelievable in space, catching the ball down the field. And Kirk Cousins is going to get a lot of the blame on this pick 6. But Stephon Diggs is wrong here. Now, whether you want to call this a shallow cross or a drag, whatever you want to call it, in a situation like this is man coverage. He cannot stop. He stops.
Yeah.
And the DB keeps running, and so he hits the DB in the chest. That's on Stephon Diggs. You can't pull up like that. It's just like if I'm running a slant route, Skip, and the cornerback jumps inside and I stop. Well, the quarterback is going 1, 2, 3, and he's throwing the ball. If I stop, he's going to hit the DB right in the chest. That's what happened. Diggs pulls up. He hits P.J. Williams right in the chest. It goes back the other way. Now, if you don't like Kirk Cousins or you're not into the minutia of how you should run a route against man or zone coverage, that's Kirk, man. Kirk, I told you, Kirk Cousins. I told you he was a underachieving. No, he's a. What's the word?
Overachiever.
Oh, he's an
underconfident overachiever.
Underconfident overachieving. That's what he is.
That's exactly what he is. He's also the highest paid player in the history, most overpaid player in the history of pro football.
That might be the case, Skip Bayless, but you know how free agency works. Yeah. Free agency is not about being good; it's about being free.
Timing.
And you have to overpay to get a guy to come to your building. But Skip, I still believe Minnesota is a very good. I mean, Thielen went over 100 yards again. Stephon Diggs, they had 2 receivers. They have 2 guys that are legit #1 receivers, Diggs and Thielen. Kyle Rudolph, he's not the Kyle Rudolph of old, but he still can make plays. But they need to run the ball a little more than what they ran it. Dalvin Cook's going to be out for a minute with that hamstring injury. And we normally see that with guys that have knee injuries. He suffered a knee injury, Skip, that ACL. And so he's struggling getting that hamstring up to strength so it can carry because he's an explosive running back. But they're going to have to run more. But I understand why they throw it. You don't pay a quarterback $28 million, 84 fully guaranteed, Jen, to ask him to turn around and hand it to a running back. So they put a lot on Kirk Cousins' shoulders. And last night I thought he was playing well. He just got let down in some situations. But okay, defense, you're at home. Okay, defense, at any point in time, if your offense is struggling, you're welcome to take the ball away like New Orleans defense did for them when their offense didn't have it going early on. Okay, Minnesota, any point in time, if you want to hit Drew Brees and get the ball out, if you want to pull the ball out from one of those receivers, feel free, but don't just settle for that. Just don't settle for the turnover. Do like the 2000 Ravens or the 02 Bucks. Turn them into points yourself.
So, I don't know if anybody but me noticed this, but Shannon Sharp did pick New Orleans to go to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
I did.
And so did I before the season started. But the last 2 weeks, Shannon Sharp very quietly has picked against the Saints on the road at Baltimore and at Minnesota.
I did.
Thank you very much for that. I didn't. I picked the Saints both times because these ain't the same old ain'ts. This team is doing business completely upside down from even last year's Saints. This team is shocking me because it is now the home sweet dome team. Do you realize it's 4-0 on the road now?
Yeah.
4-0. Beat Atlanta at Atlanta. That'll work. Beat the Giants at the Giants. That's business as usual. But again, 4-0 with wins at Baltimore and Minnesota in successive weeks, and look how they did it again yesterday. If you told me that Drew Brees would throw for only 120 yards and have a QBR substandard 47, and they would get outgained 423 to 270, I'd say, uh-oh.
You're losing.
You're going to get mauled at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, 359, 2 touchdowns. Minnesota went 7 of 13 on 3rd and 4th down. That's pretty good.
First cousin.
But guess what happened once again yesterday? Drew Brees threw only 24 passes, and they ran it 29 times. At Baltimore, he threw only 30 passes, and they ran it 39 times. That's not exactly Sean Payton football, is it?
Nope.
They have turned it upside down on its head. They're saying, whatever it takes to go win a game, Drew, will you swallow your pride? Because Drew Brees likes to fling it, man.
Yeah.
I think he threw one ball over 20 yards yesterday.
Right.
Because he said after the game, we got this elaborate, exotic game plan, and then we go into the game and we see what they're going to give us. And if all they're going to give us is little check downs, we'll take all the check downs.
Right.
If they're going to let us run it with a light box, we're just going to hammer away and run the football.
Right.
And they are a different football team that can go win on the road, and I think they could go win in inclement weather on the road, even though we haven't seen that just yet. So the point is that the toughest remaining schedule in all of pro football belongs to the New Orleans Saints. So do I love them? I like them. I still like their chances. They now got to go to Cincinnati. They got the Eagles, the Falcons. They got to go to Dallas on Thanksgiving, which is not easy.
Easy win there.
Easy win? I don't know. It's hard to beat Dallas on Thanksgiving.
Put two cases on it right now.
I got one case on it right now.
Okay.
And I feel real good about that
Yeah,
case.
you always feeling good about
Then they
that.
go to Tampa. That should be easy. But then they got Carolina, 2 of the last 3 home and away, and the Steelers in between. So it's hard, man.
Yes.
That's a lot of games. But I think they're mentally tough enough to get through this. And once again, you don't get it, but you trust Kirk Cousins too much because he will always let you down in a play or two in a game. And he'll have a big, good QBR, and he'll throw for 359, and he won't convert. And you can say that was his fault. He looks deer in headlights to me. He looks like he's frantic, like he's going to throw it before he thinks about it, because clearly he and Diggs were not on the same page, and he threw it very quickly. And again, Diggs is already cut the other way. It's like the quarterback has to have the presence of mind to pull it down. Yeah. Pull it back. You just can't throw it.
No.
You cannot throw it.
But that's,
you're guessing. You're just guessing.
That's the difference between the really good ones and the average quarterbacks, because they're throwing on rhythm. They're throwing on timing. That's why the really good quarterbacks get upset when you don't do what you're supposed to do, Skip. If I tell you to run a speed out, if that's 10 and you got to roll to 12, and if my back foot hit 5, I'm letting the ball go. I don't care if the cornerback lines upside.
Yeah,
you must fight across his face.
That's an option route where you have to know the option. You have to have enough rapport with your receiver. Maybe they're too new to have that rapport. It's just like a Julian Edelman option route where you gotta anticipate it correctly.
Yes, but
you don't see Tom Brady throw pick sixes off an option route.
But here's the thing with an option route. You're reading man zone, Skip. P.J. Williams jumps in his hip pocket. There's no zone to that.
But he threw it to P.J.
Yeah,
it's almost like P.J. was the intended receiver.
Because Stephon Diggs stopped.
Okay, he just went the other way.
He can't do that.
Okay,
you don't get that option. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's just an option route. It's just like you guessed wrong.
No, Skip, it wasn't an option. Skip, that's a shallow cross.
I think it was an option route.
No.
I do.
No, you don't, Skip. First of all, if it was an option route, he's not going to go past the ball. Any option route, no option route is going to take you past the ball. So if he's going to run an option, it's going to be between the center and the tackle box. He went too far. He went to the other side of the ball, which lets me know that's a shallow cross. P.J. Williams, at the snap of the ball, jumps in his hip pocket. That's telling him it's man coverage. You do not pull up, because if you stop and the quarterback throws it, guess what's going to happen? The dude had reservation for 6 into the end zone.
All I got to tell you is that pair of receivers for the Vikings makes Kirk Cousins look a lot better than he should look, because he throws balls that are just crazy balls, and they go up and snatch them or come back and
But that's
get
what
them.
good receivers do.
Okay, those are the 2 best at finding the football and changing, repositioning for the football.
Yeah.
They're both really, really good at it. And there were 4 or 5 throws last night where I said, uh-oh, that's up for grabs. And one time Thielen just went over and snatched it.
Yes.
And Diggs will come back for one. And you say, wow, these guys are really good, but in that case, he throws it right to PJ, pick six, and you just can't do it in a game of that magnitude, Sunday Night Football, close game. And all I know is, as a Cowboy fan, I miss Kirk Cousins playing for the Washington Redskins. I do. I just do.
Yeah.
He was 1-6 against the Cowboys because there are always hidden blunders in his QBR. That play, whose ever fault it is, you just have to eliminate it. Is it Diggs' fault, or is it just should the quarterback not have tried it at all? Whatever it is, it's a typical Kirk Cousins play. And then I got to go back to the previous play that was the 4th and 1 play. This is a huge play in the game. They had it 4th and 1 at their 45. Mike Zimmer says, we're going to go for it.
Right.
And who does Kirk Cousins choose on the play? He chooses Laquan Treadwell, who's not trustworthy. He's less trustworthy than Kirk Cousins.
He's a first-round pick.
I know, but has he not dropped a lot of balls?
Yeah, he skipped the ball, hit him in his hands.
Right? All right, so don't choose him. What I'm saying is it's just Kirk Cousins picking the wrong guy. I would never throw him 4th and 1 and throw that deep of a pass to him. Yeah. This should be a pop pass to somebody for 3 yards.
No, Skip. Yeah. Here's the guy that's a first-round pick. He has one-on-one coverage. I hit him in the hands, and before he can secure it, the DB, give the DB credit.
By the way, the DB's a first-round pick, too.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes, but should he not caught this ball? The ball hit him in his hands.
It's a huge play because then the Saints go right down. It's easy and get a field goal, and all of a sudden they're off to the races. And then the pick six happens on the next series, and the game's virtually over.
Skip.
Kirk Cousins.
In a thing like that, when they send 11 guys on the field, the coach feels those are the best 11 guys. Nobody can be off limits. Once you start negating, well, we're not going to throw it to this guy because he's not Shannon Sharp, or we're not going to throw it to this guy because... No! You're out there for a reason. You win, the ball's coming your direction, we expect you to make a play. It's simple as... Skip, the guy's a first-round pick. He's not an undrafted free agent. He's a first-round pick.
I loved it.
I loved it, too.
Throw it to Treadwell. Love it. Thank you, Kirk. Way to go. So...